I'm really just pondering what I want to talk about. Because some of the things that I've been talking about, it's like just trying to get reconfirmation. You know, some of my experiences that I'm having is really like kind of beneath me. And for about 4 days, I've been feeling like an empty ache in my chest. And I'm going to tell you, it's not about a person. It's not about a thing. I used to feel like this, I think it was maybe like 19 years ago. So it's like a piece of me I can't even explain. But what I'm doing is I'm not even trying to fix it. Especially with my mind, because I know I'm not a broken person. And I can say that over and over again, and I can even go into a quantum level. And it's just what I'm experiencing. It's like I have some missing electrons going on, right? And even the universe is already moving me, so I can get compensation. So regardless to anything, my energy, I want to make it clear. Because some of you all out here, y'all know me on a personal level, and we do speak. And you see how I can just breathe. And it has not been very easy because it's a lot of things that I won't put out here. But if you're sitting here and you're listening to this video and you're listening to my voice, I just want you to listen to my words. Because this is not an accident that you came across this video. And I'm not even here to speculate with anybody about any particular thing. I'm not here ever the type to argue. I don't like to debate. And I definitely don't need to perform today. Not today, some other day. But I know, me being here is because there's just a pull. I go by that. I don't go by any schedule. So if you ever have felt like a vibrational stream that has been running like beneath the noise, outside the noise of just our modern day life, modern day life, our human life for forever. And I can say for too long. Human communication itself is all so twisted. It's all so twisted. Because words are weaponized to build walls. And them damn algorithms, I'm telling you. I told one of my elders over a year ago, algorithms. That's the new subject. It is not new anymore because it's designed to split us into fractions. Excuse me. It's all information piled so high that it creates like this heavy, confusing fog. And it can cause deep cognitive dissonance. And one thing that I try to do, make sure I get out my bed, I do my meditation, I do my breath work, I do my yoga, I pull myself up a certain way. My human consciousness itself, your human consciousness, we have been taught to be so smart, to be so intelligent, book smart, experience. You know, we have it. And we've been conditioned to always just stay into, you know, making sure we get our degrees, making sure we're studying, making sure we have certain labels. And then the external validation is wild. Just to prove that, you know, I exist. You know, all the book smart in the world, I'm telling you, it's some things that don't even matter, because when it comes down to understanding reality itself in a highly limited, fragmented sense of it, it will force you to live inside of an isolated mental chamber. And that's good sometimes. But human to human communication, I'm telling you, it turns into a chamber like locks. And it will shut out just even the natural external force of the universe itself. I mean, it's wild. And nobody's even paying attention to it. It's just like we are trapped in some type of fear and some type of urgency. And it's constantly, you know, you got to guess. You know, you just got to keep guessing. Constantly just even doubting, you know, our own direct experience. It's like, you know, you just got to get past it, move on past it, because if we dwell on it, you know, that's not good. And you try to take your time and figure things out. You know, so what I'm asking anybody here right now to just step out those chambers, I mean, 5-10 minutes, and just let them dissolve. Because it's like I'm watching people, they moving away from even the law of exclusivity, you know, exclusiveness. Just moving away from that. And the lie itself, it just tells you that truth is only for a chosen few. Like we're just fundamental separately, you know. How can we be just separate but whole? Just stepping into the law of inclusion. You know, you don't need to look for a face to even put on this. It don't have a face. But it is definitely a power. And you don't even need to be intellectually given an explanation, you know, not for what it is. And I have nothing to do with being intellectual, because it's already beating inside of all of us, our chests, our hearts. Your chest is inside your heart. All you need to simply do is just recognize who you are. And we know who we are. Some people just on a greater scale when they recognize it. And some basically people don't even care, because as it is a shared space on this earth, nothing can penetrate that recognition. Who? Some people actually be like saying that they numb. They can't feel their own heart. They can't feel their own heart. What is that? it's really like a map of reality, isn't it? Of what we actually experience as life itself. I look around this place, I look around many different places. I look at certain grid scales of other people's lives. I look at my life from the north, south, east, and west of me. And beyond what my eyes can see, I have to go deep sometimes. I don't even like a lot of noise. Sometimes I can go all day, no TV, no music, just sacred, liquid energy, listening to myself. And if I can't have that, I tell you, operation, through my own personal axis, with the gravity that pulled me on this earth, I don't see how people can even just want to breathe. For me, that's a power that's just unbreakable. It's an unbreakable bond. And I just, y'all, somebody, just think about that word. Unbreakable bond with your own heart. And it isn't anything that should be making anybody fragile. Anything that is even, just trapped in some type of emotional concept. To me, when you understand the heart and what it is, it's like a cosmic mechanic system. And that energy is so dense, so real, so steady that it possesses like the hydraulic frequency and pressure. Some people crack through it, straight through it. Like, crack through it. Solid. It can be rock. You can be rock hard. You can be just straight hardcore. And it won't even fight you. It will just flow through you. I don't care how cocky a man can be. It will flow through him. Like, you be stoned, whatever choice. But just to yield the liquid bond, the fluid that has to flow through your heart. That's liquid energy. You can't deny that. Is it completely immune to, the illusion of 3D? I mean, what's going on with people? Even distance can't even stretch it. Time itself don't even exist. It cannot erode it. None of that can work against that. Nothing can work against it. Even in an astrological understanding and that force of celestial cycles. It's all created by that very same primordial universe. Yep, the same primordial universal energy, indeed. They can't dictate it. They can't manipulate the bond that you have with your heart, because it sits entirely above a matrix of external programming. It really does, because you got people that make art from it, from knowing it. And the most beautiful part about all that, the most beautiful part of my truth is that the symmetry as above, so below. And that's a massive universal currency. Universal current isn't just swirling out in a deep space. it's mirrored. People got certain things just down packed flawlessly inside your own immediate physical biology, and nobody's paying attention to it. And it is hard-coded into our very own chromosomes. And if you think about it, it's like you can feel a change even when you humming right now inside of our solar plexus that could cause an anchoring itself directly through our chakra system. But the thing about it is the way people are communicating is great. I mean, I don't even like that word, but it's just amazing. Let me say that, because we are walking, breathing. We have antennas for the cosmos, which is our intuition. And we are just open systems, constantly interacting with a field of pure unity from the inside first, and then the consciousness itself. I mean, everything is so fragmented. So why does it sometimes feel like, I'm falling apart? And I'm being very real. I can feel it, but I can also control myself. Why do we experience moments, though, of that profound emptiness? Because at the end of the day, nobody can help you. Ain't nobody coming to save you. So let's look at what it really, 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 really is actually happening. Because on a certain level, even, when I want to use this word quantum level, and I don't care what y'all say, I'm not using anything that I like using certain words, and I'm going to use those words. And if you don't like it, hey, look it up. The physics of universal compensation. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And I'm not going to say why. It doesn't even matter. Because even in my modern science, which has been my strength ever since I was in junior high school, 4.0 average, my studies of the atom itself, we used to look at fields of energy, right, in the microscope. And sometimes, even when I was young observing certain things, I could see what I was looking at. And I could see certain cells eating up other cells, And that was looking like weakness, and I could see missing electrons. So I think about human life itself and look at all of life. I look at myself, and when I'm experiencing this as a feeling of lack, yeah, it can be a lonely feeling, because you could feel disconnected, you could feel tired, you could feel like not the good empty, but like an emptiness. And when you look at your life and you think something is missing, if you stay there for too long, you're going to be lost. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not a religious person. I'm very spiritual. So I'm not going to allow certain type of vacuum to exist without a certain response. And with that alone, that is the law of a universal compensation. I mean, who sit up and just let whatever just defragment you, take you apart? When an electron is missing, the entire holistic field shifts, right? You shift inside. And the universe itself can compensate that. That's this energy. And it rushes in to fill a certain void. I'm doing it right now because I do feel like a certain void is going on with myself. And I can exactly say what it is, but it wouldn't even make no difference right here in this video, because when I'm doing the equation to ensure absolute equilibrium for myself, when I feel like I'm imbalanced, like I need to drink more water, I need to breathe better for myself, I'm no different from anybody. And when I feel a sense of weakness even inside myself, or a missing piece within myself, yeah, my human experience is that. And what? Do I walk around just being like, I gotta be flawless? I gotta look flawless? It is a biological and an energetic signal. And I'm paying attention to it. And I'm fighting like hell, because I don't want it to get any worse. My system preparing for quantum compensation is a now. You know, the overarching universal field is like stepping in to balance myself. And who's gonna do that for me other than myself? My own personal grid scale. That compensation can only flow when there is zero resistance. Zero. And if you lock yourself back inside a certain rigid form of certain mental thoughts, you know, inside your mind, you know, and if you, like some people will say, you backstep, trying to intellectualize, you know, your discomforts, your pain, and force your way through life. You're not going to be compensation for that, because it's being fake. It's being phony. You're being fake and phony to yourself. People can completely create like a dam to a river of like liquid energy within themselves. And through true learning of that, true understanding of that, it always happens through the senses. Your first senses of what you're feeling. And if you tell somebody that and they don't even connect, they're not going to care. They don't care about that. What comes from the best form of being in a good vulnerable energy is recognizing the senses that you have, the signals that you have. Vulnerability is not weakness. There's a vulnerable that is weakness, but that's not what I'm talking about. Vulnerability that is not weakness. It is an act of dropping my shields to myself so a universal current can finally move me through the shift that I need to be in. It moves through you without friction, without drama, without fire, without argument, without somebody trying to block your blessings. It lets your unforced feelings and your raw experience just rise to a certain surface naturally. So sitting in a state of non-resistance is so important to me. I laugh at myself sometimes if I reach for my phone. And I talk and I think to myself, look what you're doing. My personal experience is just like that. It becomes my absolute truth. Even when I reach out and call some people, it's like, look what you're doing. And the speculation dissolves. It goes away. You're not having no conversation built on speculations, built on the opinions and doubts and judgments of others, even against yourself. All that just simply fades away. And that's such a good feeling. Because all that drama, it can't even exist in the same frequency as my direct, lived realization. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. So, power. I can pick up a pen and I could write this all down. I didn't have to videotape it. I didn't have to put this out to the universe at all. I could just pick up a pen and hold it in front of just write. Just write. That's my thing, y'all. But, I made this transition, this transmission of Let's Talk Clarity, the transition that we get into our daily experiential learning sessions, right? Life itself. We are going to practice, a lot of people have to practice it, but I practice the compensation together with myself. And I'm doing it even today and tomorrow, the next day after that. It's like now. Because I have to have solidarity. I call it my solidarity project in action. Because I'm not about to be turning my communication on, my tool into some negative light. It has to be a positive light because the negativity is going to be there. But I like to create a better difference regardless of how others might misuse, misuse it in the world. I could care less. And I'm going to tell you, I don't have to turn up and reclaim my focus. Because if I have a pen and a piece of paper near me, okay, because I don't write at this time, and I take that out, it's a wrap. And if you don't simply use your mind to write upon the canvas, even here, that silence. Because this is how I do this. It's like a return. And it's profound power. It's power in the physical act of a pen. And I use that long time being a poet or writer. But then I had to learn about doing it more invisible. I had to learn how to do it as my liquid energy for my thoughts. And it's for me to anchor myself into a physical reality of what I have to do. Because it bridges the macrocosmic forces of my own mind with the microcosms of like a page in here, pages. And I want you to even sit privately in your own energy field and take your time and try and think about when you're writing, if you write, where is it coming from? It's coming from your mind, from your inside force. And you don't even have to force any thoughts. No. You don't sit up and for me, I don't sit up and I don't try to write something that sounds smart. That's so not me. Not even poetically. I just let my hand rest and flow inside my own mental chamber with my heart. And I can feel the weight of that pen. It's like an invisible pen, and it feels like acts of gravity within me, like right now. And it's pulling me safely to speak because I am the earth. Have you ever wondered, Mother Earth, why they even say that word? So when I just sit and I realize that I'm a part of a massive vibrational stream in this life, I mean, what other stuff matter? I am giving and taking in perfect harmony. That I can guarantee to you. If you want some answers, look for it within yourself, because I can't sit up and tell anybody about the law of attraction. When someone asks me, what does manifest mean? It means do. Do. Do you need a complex explanation? It's a natural, unforced exchange when you manifest. When you do. And what it is that we are feeding from the stream, from our own inner stream. Your own electromagnetic waters. And you're contributing to your unique frequencies that, you get yourself back into even when you feel empty. So even if you feel a little emptiness today, write it down and let the universe compensate you. And if you feel like a surge of power in your solar plexus, write it down. And just let yourself flow with this pen and see what comes from it. It's like a radiant feeling, and it sparks a lot out to the rest of yourself. People have turned that into a commodity, right? But what you donate for yourself in those moments, it's an instant balance. It's not someone else telling you. When they do it and people put words even in songs and you feel that rhythm, that's a collective whole when you're there like that. But what I'm talking about is the unbreakable network, an unbreakable song. So, I wanted to do this because, I don't ever try to sit up and match nobody's energy. What I do like to do is match my steady pulse that I know and I can remember. So, before you put down your pen, and I'm saying it not like an actual pen, but how you think, your thoughts, and what you're writing inside of yourself. Just step away from, like the private sanctuary, and look at the page in front of you. And look at what you writing inside your mind. Because it's like a raw printout. A raw printout of your current energy force. That energetic frequency. And once you do that, just take what you've written like it's on paper and stand before your own physical mirror, and try to put it out. Put it out to yourself. Listen to yourself. Like you reading it out loud. Like you the star of a show and you got an audience. put the words out loud to your own reflection. And just look at it. Look deeply in your own eyes. And as you hear your own voice, what you will find is that you have two sovereign choices for your life right there in that reflection. And either you have a choice to reflect it or correct it. And if the words that I'm saying to you ring with absolute truth and understanding, and if when you do that to yourself and for yourself, and it's a truth, go ahead and absorb it. Let it be a reconfirmation of your own primary purpose. Okay? You know what I'm talking about. Because that is a sacred power that you hold. And you don't need validation from anyone. It's a lot of people that's not going to carry it and receive it or even understand it. Not that they even want to. Especially if the words, start some cognitive dissonance and give somebody a headache, give somebody fear, and then they start speculating on what's up with you. You have to feed yourself this energy, and you have to do it with a practice consciously. Because everybody else, sometimes you need to push them away. Just let them go. So you can re-regulate yourself. Re-regulate yourself from your own emotional or mental system. And if you hear and if you can pay attention to this, it's possible. Because to me, that is the ultimate purpose of self-introspection. And I will call it, let's take it even further, self-introspection writing within yourself. Like an invisible pen unloading your mind. And then looking in the mirror and you seeing yourself, it's like realignment of your soul. So hopefully y'all will hear this message and you'll take it with you, because it's going to sit, you're going to have some feelings this year in your solar plexus. But it's going to come to a time that everybody need to let their own guide, their own natural abilities be a part of their, re-regulation without force. Because to anchor, what I'm talking about entirely from the experiences alone, it might just trigger the absolute focus of what I call quantum oneness. Because people don't even care about the law of oneness no more. So quantum oneness inside your conscious mind right now is better, and it's priceless. It's priceless. And I'm leaving you with this. It can't be sold. It cannot be sold. This ain't for sale, entangled for, just a focus right now. Because, even in the unified field, you can't cash in on that. You have to stand in solidarity on that. Just like when you breathe and release it and just be. Yep. Ooh. What a day, what a day, what a day. What a day. And I ain't even really thinking about clarity. I've given myself clarity. And if you can give yourself clarity, that might be just a revelation.